Success is the ability to go from one failure to another with no loss of enthusiasm. The beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you. May I request you to please rise as the academic profession consisting of Dr. Joseph Chandra, Business Coach Bangalore, Professor Voki Patamadan, Program Managing Director, Hindustan Antibiotics Private Limited, Mr. Blessed George, Director, KH Business Consulting Private Limited, Principal Dr. Paul V. Matthew, Chairman, Advocate Arun Paul, Director, Ms. Amy Arun, Head of the Department, Ms. Abarna Muni, Assistant Professor Ravi Ramachandra, and all the MSRM directors as just entered the hall. Ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Nivedita, and it's me, Panchama. It gives us immense pleasure to welcome you all to the convocation ceremony of MSRM 2019 Children's. May I request all of you to stand for the national anthem. And most importantly, it makes them work harder to be a successful career ahead. Begin this auspicious occasion with the blessings of Almighty, may I request all you to stand for the invocation. Okay.
നന്മയാകുന്ന കാന്തി കാണുവാൻ കണ്ണി I declare the convocation open.
Thank you, sir. Small cheer and great welcome makes a miracle. I would like to invite Ms. Aparna Unni, Head of the Department, for the welcome address and report presentation. Good afternoon. Respected Dr. Chaudhary Matthew, the Principal of College, Professor Swati Satyanathan, former Center of Hindustan Photobiography Teacher, Dr. Joseph Servera, District Professor, Dhanambur, Mr. Jason George, Director of Advocate Aditya Chairman of Aditya Medical College, Mrs. Semi Harris, Director of Aditya Medical College, colleagues, dear graduating students of Nishara, invitees, parents, and my dear students, at the outset, I, on behalf of Aditya Medical College, welcome you all to the first convocation ceremony of Nishara Batch. I really feel proud to be a part of such an enlightened institution with great teachers whose teaching goes beyond the classroom, and be a man of the Inspiration College Principal, Dr. Chaudhary Matthew. I heartily welcome you, sir, to the great city. Welcome. Apart from it, this is a great occasion to welcome our chief guest, Mr. Bhakti Patnakar, Dr. Joseph Servera, and Mr. Jason George to the auspicious ceremony. All are welcome, sir. Next, I would like to welcome our chairman, Advocate Arun Paul Puneet. Welcome, sir. May I welcome Director Mrs. Semi Arun to this convocation ceremony. Welcome, ma'am. Now it's time to welcome the real heroes of the ceremony. Each slides for this convocation ceremony. Welcome you all. Last but not least, I would like to welcome teaching, non-teaching staff, students and parents who have gathered here irrespective of their busy schedule to make this ceremony a magical one. Welcoming each one once again. Thank you. Now, it's time to present a brief report of MHR. MHR, Master of Human Resource Management, is a sub-discipline of Business and Management Studies started in Aditya Medical College in the year 2015. The MHR program is designed to offer good knowledge on management education to the aspirants and both theoretical and practical knowledge to the students. It is more focused on course, especially relating to understanding organizational behavior and train students in the field of HR management. I am proud to say all students of our institution got 100% result, and Ansar George from second batch got 6th rank in Mahatma Gandhi University. Now we reach to the convocation ceremony of our 4th MHRM batch. About this batch, there are 10 students who actively concentrated their studies along with participating in various cultural and academic events organized in our institution. Almost all students from previous batches are placed in different organizations. Our institution provides various internship projects and other activities to develop their confidence and enable them to achieve a successful career. Now I conclude my reporting and thank you for your patience. Once again, thank you. Thank you, ma'am. May I now invite our dearest principal, Dr. Paul Matthew, for the presidential address and administering the oath to the graduate students.
Our chief guest of the day is Professor Bhakti Patnakar, Dr. Joseph Servera, Mr. Jason George, Advocate Arun Paul, Director of the Chairman of the College, Emi Arun, Director of the College, my dear successful students, teachers and all the stellars. Very warm good afternoon to one and all. So it fills my heart with joy and enthusiasm today to see such a magical success as mentioned by our head of the department, Abarna only. So it is a rare moment to see that our students are reaching new heights after their graduation. We are living in a place or time when our country is expecting a paradigm shift. As per experts and economists, next 15 years will be the golden time in our economy. We believe that just a degree will not make us successful in our failure. As we know, hardly 20% of our graduates or people are being upskilled or getting continuous skilling after their graduation. I hope that all of you have secured good results in your Master of Human Resource Management course, and I hope that you will pursue the same excellence in the upcoming professional pursuits. Some of you have already joined in some prestigious organizations. Today I want to tell a few points for your lifelong learning or your future broad pursuit with your professional career. At the outset, let me take this opportunity to congratulate all the graduates from this college of the Master of Human Resource Department. This is the result of your hard work, and this is just a beginning of your journey in your professional life. As our advocates mentioned, education is the passport to the future. So here you have got a passport, but we have to decide where we should go, how we should go. There are lots of options, lots of destinations, lots of mode of operational travel to your future career. So as I mentioned, the economy is positive. We have lots of opportunities across the globe. At the same time, upskilling is very important. So 3 things I am remembering today for your lifelong learning or lifelong sustainability. Probably you would have missed our industrial revolution, the manufacturing revolutions, when European countries and such countries have gained lot from these revolutions. But now we are in a revolution of technology, which is clubbed with digital skills. We are optimistic that we are not missing such a beautiful digital revolution. So this is the time to armor ourselves with the skills of digital technology and digital skills. So this is the time, and in the future also, we have to learn what are the updated skills in the technology, and whatever we are seeing today is a digital format, which is making more enthusiasm, which is enticing lots of people. So, be a forerunner in digital skills and technology is very important. Next is whatever we are gaining or getting. Maybe we have formal education, we have degrees, we have financial as well as such resources, but if we are not having the happiness, nothing will be working out. So if you see, we have a project called Happiness Project in the campus, which we are assuring that our lives will be happy and happier every day. So there is a beautiful concept called Ikigai, where a place in Japan called Okinawa, where lots of centurions or people having more than 100 years of age, which we are seeing in Okinawa. There is a secret behind their happiness that is called as Ikigai, finding the purpose of our life. We have to get paid for what we are doing. We should have the passion to do what we are doing. So that is the combination of happiness. We are getting paid at the same time we are finding the happiness from the task what we are doing. So in future life, if we are not happy, then the entire purpose of life will be not making any sense. So that is why intentional effort is very important to achieve happiness in our life. Earlier, people were working for food and the sustenance, then for money. Now people are looking for happiness, well-being and quality of life all over the life. So that is very important. And last but not the least, how we can make our life more meaningful. So if you are looking at Bhagavad Gita or thoughts of Mahatma Gandhi, such beautiful books from the Bible also, they are talking about what is the meaning of life. According to Winston Churchill, what we are getting is called living, but what we give is life. So think about, are we living or are we having a real life in this society? So beyond receiving things, beyond getting things, think about how we can make our life real and meaningful life. So David Carnegie once said, the purpose of life, learn, love and leave a legacy. That is life. How we can contribute to our society. So I'm concluding with these three thoughts. I feel that will add more value, happiness and joy in a future pursuit. Actually ourselves with digital skills, find happiness wherever we are, in our home or in office or society, and try to really make our life by giving to society. So once again, I congratulate all the successful students, those who are coming out with successful and fine colors, and I hope that you have lots to go. Miles to go before I sleep, miles to go before I sleep. I have to keep my promise. That is a beautiful quote by William Wordsworth. So, always think about what is the promise we are giving, being the Sterlites. You have some kind of commitment and promise towards your family, towards society. So, let us keep justice to our promise what we are making or what we have made in our previous life or in our past. So once again I thank you all the delegates and welcome them also and congratulate all those who are successful and attended this graduation and convocation event. So let us stand up for the convocation on. I hope that you have this convocation in your hand. So I will read it out there, please. Please follow. On this August occasion of Convocation Day, as we enter into our profession, we solemnly pledge that we, the graduates of Agastella Men's College, shall always remain honest in our thoughts, deeds and discharge of duties. We shall always maintain the integrity of our alma mater and uphold the dignity of our profession. We shall utilize our knowledge, skills and experience to the best of our abilities in order to contribute to the progress of our nation and to the service of humanity at large. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Graduation is always a day of rejoicing, for it marks the conclusion of an educational journey and the commencement of another more uncertain and thrilling phase of their life. Today signifies the accumulation of many years of hard work in the relentless pursuit of knowledge. Knowledge that will enable the person to embrace opportunities and take on challenge with clear vision and purpose. It's time for honoring the graduates. For this, I I invite Dr. Joseph Shergara to honor his Anjali. Now, I invite Professor Verghese Pattimettam to honor Ms. Christy Thambi. For this, I invite Dr. Joseph Shergara to honor Ms. Anju P.S. Thank you, sir. Now, I invite Professor Verghese Pattimettam to honor Ms. Christy Thambi. Thank you, sir. I would like to invite Mr. Blessing George for honoring Ms. Shabna Abdul Khader. Thank you, sir. Next, I invite Dr. Paul B. Matthew for honoring Ms. Rosemary Sebastian. Thank you, sir. May I now invite Advocate Arvind Paul Punnell for honoring Ms. Sajna K.S. Thank you, sir. Next, I invite Ms. Amy Irene for honoring Ms. Anne-Marie Thomas. Thank you all. Now, it's time to announce the best outgoing student of MSRM 2019-20 batch. I heartily invite Professor Verghese Pattimettam for giving the best outgoing student award to Ms. Shabna Abdul Khader. Congratulations for your success. Now, may I request Professor Verghese Pattimettam to address the gathering. Be seated. Now, may I please request Professor Verghese Pattimettam to address the gathering. Before that, we wish to share a brief introduction about him. Professor Verghese Pattimettam is a graduate BSc Engineering in 1978. Entered Popular from IIT Madras in the year 1980. Currently pursuing PhD from CUSAT Kochi. Currently he is working as a faculty member of of Operation Management in XIME Kochi campus. He was former Managing Director of Hindustan Antibiotic Limited UK and worked with HOC Cochin as the Chief General Manager. He has had over 13 years of experience in various domains. He has presented many articles including 3 international papers, published more than 600 articles and wrote for Indian Express, Passline, Madhubhumi and many other periodicals and professional publications. He served as the National Joint Secretary of Economics, expert panel member of Kerala State Encyclopedic Publications, Governing Council member of Urea of Pharma Public Sector Industries, member of PSC Council of Confederation of Indian Industries, New Delhi, and received so many awards. We are all waiting for your valuable words. A warm welcome to you, sir.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, a warm good afternoon to all of you. So today is a great day in the life of the students who are awarded the degree of MHR. This is a recognition of the skills and knowledge acquired by you during the past 2 years, which will help you in pursuing great careers in future. But remember, this certification is for your knowledge and skills acquired yesterday and today, and you are going to live in the future. The future is going to be different because changes are happening so rapidly. Change is nothing new. It was there, but now the difference is that it is faster. There were a lot of technological and managerial science advancements during the Second World War. But after 30 years, when we entered the college, much of the developments were not reflected in the syllabus of our university. After entering the service, it took even another 10 or 20 years to see those things getting implemented in industry. Now the scenario is different. A new product introduced in California or Korea, within 1 month it is available in Ramapallam and Ernakulam. Technology is spreading fast, it is not waiting for anything. So in this dynamic situation, what we studied today and yesterday will be only supporting for future studies. You have to continue your studies. And because of the fast change in technologies, the permanent regular job is going to be a matter of the past. Now it is time for gig economy. In gig economy, there is no permanent jobs. You are paid for whatever service you render during that instance, just like a Uber taxi. And as regards the human resources department, if you see, during our service, the challenges were different. The university syllabus may be concentrating those concepts, but it is not going to be relevant in the future. Because now it is time for work at home, so no scope for implementing strict attendance, punching clocks, all those things. Now it is the time of this economy. Number of regular workers are very less. Lot of automation has happened. Technological advancement was nothing new. Since industrial revolution, you are seeing steam engine, they are playing the steam engine. When electricity was there, internet was there, these were all fundamental revolutions. lot of changes happened, but it was slow. But now, where are we? The internet has revolutionized the industry. Internet phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3 is now on. It is called Web 3.0. As far as technology is concerned, the blockchain technology is going to rule the world. Then comes 5G communication technology, artificial intelligence, and nanotechnology, solar power. All these things put together, the scenario is going to be totally different. As a result, nobody can afford to employ a person for 30 years or 40 years based on his degree acquired at the age of 21 years or 22 years, because he may not be able to cope up with the changing technology. So what they do, they hire the people for a few years or maybe a few hours for the service they get. In this scenario, what as fresh graduates you have to do is you have to, as our director has already pointed out, you have to reskill up and upskill. There is something called predictive learning. Classroom learning combined with online learning. And in our university setup, it will take years to learn about the latest developments in our regular courses because it has to be get the approval of say 70% get the loan is part of India. But now the world is changing, there is a lot of opportunity for learning. What you have to do is you have to, anyway, the basic degree is very relevant. It is a strong foundation. On that, you have to build additional skills which has got timely importance. For example, there are so many things I will tell you a few examples. Now, this blockchain technology is going to conquer the world. Cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. Lot of opportunities are there, and of course, I know you are all not looking for paid jobs. Many of you will be entrepreneurs nowadays. That is it, because now startups, government gives a lot of encouragement for startups, financial assistance and all. Whether you are starting your own startups or you want to get employed, you have to be abreast with the latest technologies and management concepts prevailing in the world. For that purpose, now these online courses or the so-called MOOC courses are available on any subject, anywhere. Many of them are free of cost. So you have to select your career path and find out the relevant courses and study, sitting at home and acquire the certifications. The international certifications are honored all over the world. Just like this Microsoft MCSE or this project management certification. These are all internationally accredited certifications. People don't bother whether it is studied in Dhanamandalam or IIT or Harvard. Once you successfully complete it, you are at par with anybody in the world. It is recognized all over the world. So such courses you have to find out. For that purpose, you have to identify how the future business scenario is going to evolve. Now I said, told you there is work at home. So the problems to be addressed are going to be different. Recently, 3 studies have come out from the world famous consultants McKinsey, IDC, and one more. All these things predict that there will be more job changes in future. 25% more job changes. Job changes are happening even now. but there will be 25% more job changes in future, and another 5 years time. Similarly, there will be 20% drop in business travel. You know, there are online meetings, so business travels can be reduced. Then there will be 500% growth in e-commerce. We are witnessing it. It is already happening. So all these things put together, and there will be sharp reduction in the number of permanent jobs. And automation is, as you know, because of the onset of this artificial intelligence and the robotics, a lot of jobs are being taken over by the machine. Now the concept of dark factories has come. What is dark factory? In dark factory, only few people do. I read that in some industry which is normally the conventional industry which can be run by 1,000 or 2,000 people are run by 10 or 11 people. Because even the management processes are also automated. When in a big factory, everything is automated, everything is done by machines, then we don't need wide workplace because number of people moving are very less. We don't need light. Certainly lighting is not required because machines don't want light. The HR problems are going to be different. No concept of promotion, HR problems, all these things are not there. But the majority of the workforce is robots. Robots don't want salary. They want only some little bit of electricity and some maintenance work. So in this scenario, and the main task is which jobs are to be allocated to machines. Now the problem is which job is to be outsourced, which course is to be done internally, all those things. And how many permanent employees should be there, how many apprentices should be there. These are going to be changed. The challenge will be which are the jobs to be outsourced, to be given to the robots. Which are the jobs to be even in the work from home mode? These are the new problems. And now promotion disputes, all those present problems will not be there. New problems will come up. While solving these things, you have to apply your basic skills acquired during your course. So in dark factories, as you can imagine, the problems are totally different. And the present, when the office space requirement is less, when the transportation requirement is less because of work at home, many of the perquisites and facilities will be provided for the employees in the workplace is of not at all of any importance. So all the problems are dying out and new problems are coming out. So how to solve it? You have to apply your acquired skills and acquire more and more skills through continuous learning for which the facilities are there now, even with free of cost. So here in this institution, what you have learned is how to learn. During your project and all those things, you might have acquired the skill to learn. It is a place where one can learn to learn. So you have to continue the learning so that you will be successful in future in the change world. Because now in the electricity, every sector, I am not going to the details, everything is going to be autonomous. Self-driving cars, everything is even so far, whatever human intelligence was wherever human intelligence was required, that was reserved for humans. But now, even now, that is also taken over by software. That is the last machine is called artificial intellect, which has got all the capabilities of human beings. Such kind of artificial intelligence concepts and devices are coming up. So be careful to be successful and to conquer the world by using the weapons you are acquired from this institution. I wish you all a very bright future and thank management for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightened words. Next, I invite guest of honor Dr. Joseph Chilgara to address the gathering. Dr. Joseph Chilgara is a group in charge and lead auditor at Track Certification and Inspection. He was the director of Blue Line Hotels and Kochi Scholar Guide. He was an adjunct professor at Xavier Institute of Management and Entrepreneurship and Entrepreneurial Studies. He is a senior manager of Ghana Publications. Welcome, you, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. The new graduates, postgraduates, are sitting with a top of attainment, achievement. I think this is the opportunity to congratulate you and wish you success in your future. When I say success, what is success? For some people, success is making a lot of money. For many, for some, success is going up in the career line. For another group, success is being popular in life, having a lot of friends, being recognized by you, and all. Your principal pointed out happiness. For a few, happiness is success. Satisfaction is success. Achievement of dreams is success. Being of use to the society is success. So that's where the happiness factor comes. You can be happy when you are feeling independent. You can apply all the things that you want in life the way you want. Reaching that level is the source of happiness. You are all masters in business administration. Your graduation is in effect business administration. So the question, what is business administration? How can you become business people who are doing business administration? If you want to be business administrators, first of all, there will be a business. How a business happens, or how there is an opportunity to be part of a business. For that, first of all, there should be somebody who starts the business. The people who start the business is called an entrepreneur. So, the one who starts the business, runs the business, is an entrepreneur. And managers or business administrators are people who assist the entrepreneur to run the business. So, naturally, in such an environment, the entrepreneur is number one. And the manager who assists the entrepreneur to run the business is number two. Now the big question is, do you want to be or remain in the whole life as number two? Or do you want to catch up in life and become number one? What you have understood the question? Become number two. Instead of job seekers on a later activity, then we want to be job seekers. Who is an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is a person who sets up a business or several businesses, taking financial risk in hope of profit. Entrepreneur takes all the risk in hope of getting profit from the business. Many think that profit is a sin. It is not. It is the remuneration for the entrepreneur. It is the remuneration that the entrepreneur gets for the risk he takes in life. Sometimes he puts part of his assets, resources. Sometimes he puts full resources into business. But he is not sure whether it will become profitable. There are so many uncertainties in the world of business. Sometimes he may lose all the money that he has put in business. But an entrepreneurial community is ready to take up business. Once I happened to meet one lady in a train journey from here to Ahmedabad. So during the journey, we became friends and started talking about so many things. And then she told me she belongs to Maowadi people. So she lives in Kerala. She is a Maowadi and going home. Oh, I was very much impressed because I know that Maowadi community is entrepreneurial. Then we came to the discussion of risk that entrepreneurship. Then she surprised me by saying, if she looks for a bridegroom, she prefers to have a young man who has failed at least 3 times in business. I don't know, because in our Malayali community, if you fail once, you're gone. The whole family, the whole society, they will discourage you to start a business. And even if you overcome all the discouragements and start the business, and finally it fails, you had it. Your community will, yes, community will, for failing in business. But if look at the way an entrepreneurial community takes up the risk. What are the characteristics of the entrepreneur? It is generally accepted by researchers and scholars and entrepreneurial area. The entrepreneurial science or study about the entrepreneurship have identified five qualities as essential qualities of an entrepreneurial person. They are innovation, proactiveness, risk-taking, competitive aggressiveness, and autonomy. Innovation is the most important aspect for the success of a man. Because as our respected professor said, the technological world of the commercial environment is changing very fast. The needs of the present world will not be the same as the coming one. So, who leads them? Innovation. So many innovations. I don't know whether you are young people, you don't know whether I don't know whether you have seen black and white TVs. In our young days, you could see only black and white TV. But soon it changed to color TV. Then innovation changed to digital TV. And where it stands, even the TV itself has vanished because the predictors are coming. Think about theatres. Because still in this films were taken, that's what the thinking. All changed now, totally digital platform. And a particular cinema can be released in 2,000, 2,500 or 2,000 theaters at the same time. Nothing for old. So that's innovation. Innovation can be product-based, innovation can be process-based, innovation can be finance. So many different types of financial methods for raising capital. Own fund to crowdfunding. Own fund, partnership, shares, private interest, public interest voting shares. Now, just come to crowdfunding. You announce something, and people put in money, and you use that for your all that. So innovation is cognizant. See, before COVID, it was all in office. Now it has become work from home. No office. The certified body where I work, our certification manager last week told me, asked me whether we can all work from home so that we can close down our office and report every day with a morning. You can save a lot. So that's how the innovation support. Then comes proactiveness. To see things in advance. Proactiveness is defined as self-initiated behavior that endeavors to solve a problem before it does it. That is proactive. So see everything in advance and find solution. There comes risk-taking. You cannot have achievements without taking risk. You have joined this college, taking the course, particular course. You could have gone for science, you could have gone for commerce, you could have gone for math, physics, you could have gone for engineering. When you join this course, there is no about your future employment and future. You're taking a small risk. Now you may be offered a job in a common city. You can either accept it or reject it. Sometimes you are accepting it. That's not the same. That same opportunity might have been used for a better occupation. But at the same time, if you miss this bus, sometimes the next bus will be hours and days later. That comes. So this taking for success is necessary. And competition of teaching. Every day we are taking competition. Every day. To stand and come in front of our bodies. You have to do very competition. Form in your competition. That doesn't mean that we people no. You must fight to be in the forefront. So that success comes first. And then comes performance. Autonomy is freedom. Decide to do what you want. Not taking finance from others. You plan your things, doing as you want, as you have to, or as you decide, when and this. And when do you start an act? You are young people. You do not have possibility. World average is the highest entrepreneurial activity starts at the age of 40. All of them. Not only India, not only UK. World average is the middle. People walk somewhere for some time, then get to know about opportunities and slowly wait for an opportunity to catch up to your own business. For example, one person is a bus driver. He has been driving the bus for the last 20 years from Ramamangalam to Ernakulam and back to Ramamangalam. There was only possibility getting to connection. He knows that the bus owner is making money out of it. He wants to own his own bus. But if he doesn't have money, he waits for an opportunity. He tells the other people, conductor, the sectors, or those people, so whenever they are in research, they sit down and share dreams about starting their own bus or start saving. And after maybe 1 or 2 years, they have saved enough money and they have gone for a land loan and buy a bus and start them their bus service. So that is enough. But for 20 years, these people were workers in a bus and they know what is the profit to be or how the bus services operation, how it generates profit. And that's the becomes a dream for them. Slowly, they become others. So such entrepreneurs are called innovators. From where they work, they should go to all business. Okay. Then there are some entrepreneurs become entrepreneurs out of motivation. Some become entrepreneurs because they don't get a job. They waited for a job, they are not getting a job, then come somebody advice, start something with zero and become. The first group is called opportunity motivated entrepreneurs, and the second one is called need motivated entrepreneurs. But the researchers told that the success rate is not different. Even those who are motivated by opportunities, small entrepreneurs, as we call them, their success rate, and those who started, they will get the jobs when they started. They were not entrepreneurs, or they have never felt that they are entrepreneurs. Success rate does not make money. Okay. Then comes types of successes with people in career. First, you are seeing entrepreneurs. There are another set of people who are against success. They are called intrapreneurs. Have you heard of it? Intrapreneurs? Entrepreneurs are people employed in an organization but acts like an army. See, they are not employees, 9 to 5 office, what to do in work. No. They are different. They always look for opportunities in the organization to start their activities. They come out as leaders. They motivate the management as well as colleagues to take up new business, start new business. Such people are called intrapreneurs. They do not own the business, but they being part of the business, they act like entrepreneurs, and without new ideas and new developments, new business activities, to the office. They don't have to invest in it, but they find opportunity in the office. That's an answer. So you can become entrepreneurs. Start as entrepreneurs. Slowly when you walk in line, you can know and find opportunities for you work for. So concluding, my words should have some insight in your mind. And wish you all the best. Thank you for my alumni, Dr. Paul, the Hussain, SMS, the research together, our country class, and the pupils. So thanks for inviting me, and I thank the management also for giving me an opportunity to give a small presentation before you and know two people in this profession. So thank you all the best.
Thank you, sir. I would like to welcome Mr. Thorne, Mr. Blessing George, to address the gathering. Mr. Blessing George is Director, Playhex Business Consulting Private Limited. He started his career as management trainee with a Tata Group company, Raleigh, India in 1994, wherein he gained experience of managing HR for sales, corporate, as well as manufacturing plants. He played the latest role with the Business Mantra in niche IT technology firm. He currently engaged as a director and principal consultant with the boutique HR advising firm Playhex Business Consultants, specializing in working with SMEs and startups. He is a holistic and seasoned senior HR professional with proven expertise and in diverse effective HR strategies, transforming and scaling up organizations through wide-ranging HR programs and top management consultation. We are waiting for your valuable role, sir. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much for the introduction. This will request Varki sir and Dr. Joseph
Chairman N.P. Ravi, and anyone, Principal Dr. Paul, teachers and staff of the Institute, and dear students. It gives me immense honor to address you all in this August gathering, and thanks to the management and the people for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to heartily congratulate the MHRM batch of 2021 for your academic excellence and for ending one chapter of your life and starting off another glorious chapter. This is your opportunity to create history, write history, and make it your own. So please do it. All the best to you. Today, I would like to take this opportunity to talk about a few things. And what you said, and Dr. Vibhu has already covered a lot of advices for your career and other things. But I thought I would take this opportunity to talk about your generation. And one of the best things about your generation, which people like us have always missed and never had the opportunity. So that's something I would like to remind you, and I think that's something which you can be encouraged and motivated to do much more and to actually create success. Because this is something which your generation has got as a unique factor, which none of the previous generations have got. So that's something that I thought I would remind you, and hopefully it will help you. First of all, there's a lot of talk about technology. Now for us, people like us, technology was a strange thing. Technology was something which we got used to. Technology came to us and we were trying to understand what is technology, how does the mobile work, how does the laptop work, how does a modem work, how does Wi-Fi work. All this is we learned. But your generation, you were born with it. When you came to consciousness, your father and mother already had smartphones, you had Wi-Fi at home. Everybody was talking about it. You never had to learn it, it just came along with you. And that's an advantage. I got this mobile 2 years back, and it took me 1 week to fully understand it. My daughter is studying 11th, and last month we gave her a mobile. Within 1 hour, she was telling me what all is the best thing and everything was done. And I was like, what? It took me a week. And within 1 hour, within a day, she had installed Insta, what all, Spotify and everything else. I still don't know how to run Spotify. But she was already on it. That's the difference. And that's something which you need to harness. Technology is your friend. Technology is your best friend. We have to befriend technology. Technology, we have to bring it to your life. Technology is already in your life. Use it. So when you go further, the world is much more than mobile phones and much more than the current social media which is using. So we do much more than that. Use technology to make your career. Because that is already part of it. And if you don't take that opportunity, use that opportunity, then you are doing yourself some harm and you're not helping us. For example, now let's talk about social media. Now people like us have to learn to get into social media. I still don't know why people do whatever they are on Instagram. And if I have to post something, I will think 10 times and I will have to look at the sentence and I will look at the comma and the full stop. Again, my daughter, she is in the car and she can't post it. Here I have to think and she's already done it. That's something which you have, your generation has a natural advantage. Use it. But then up till now, you have been using it for communicating with your friends, family, social media, but then now you need to go to the next level. Now that when you are going to your career, maybe you must be quite good with Insta, Facebook, everything, but how much are you good with LinkedIn? How much are you good with looking at business, listening to business podcasts, understanding business or corporate related or HR related podcasts, or commenting on HR related posts, talking or putting posts on HR, since you're all HR graduates, or general management, or about companies. That's the social media advantage which you need to use. The speed which you a like or a dislike or appreciate or a comment. Can you do that with your career goals? Can you do that more with the way you talk about? You can talk about management, you can talk about HR, you can talk about corporate world, you can talk about anything. You can talk about startups. Can you do that? If you can do that with the same speed, then success will be yours. You have the natural advantage, use it. We didn't have it. We still had to learn it. We learned it the hard way. You are born with it. And I'm saying that again and again. Again, talking about speed. Now, speed is something which comes naturally. People of my generation, we think a lot before we act. That's something that is part of our upbringing or the way we are brought up. You guys don't think so much. You guys are more into action, which is a good thing. You don't go into overthinking, which people of my generation may do. You are more into action. So which is why you decide to go tomorrow someplace, you just go. Tomorrow you want to go to a movie or you want to post something or do whatever, you just do it. It is a good thing. But can you do that when it comes to your career? Can you replicate that in your work area? Can you do that when you are applying for jobs? Can you do that when you are talking to corporates? So that is how can you transform your behavior on a social platform to more like when you are getting into a job journey or a corporate journey. The same behavior can you replicate, then again success. You have, again I'm repeating it again and again, you have the natural ability, you can do it. You just have to change gears from doing more likes on Facebook to doing more things on LinkedIn and doing more on the job research platform. For example, last year I don't know how many of you have heard during this Valentine's Day, 14 February, a girl in Chennai or Bangalore, she sent off a proposal to Zomato. Will you be my Valentine? That was her innovative way of applying for internship. Do you think Zomato took her? Zomato immediately took her and she got a handsome internship. What did she do? She created a post. Everybody creates it. You guys are so expert in creating posts. You send posts for your friend's birthday, you make collages, you do everything, you post it. What did she do? She made a post for Zomato and on Valentine's Day she said, will you be my Valentine? I want to do a internship with you. She immediately got the call and she got the money. Last year in June, again, another Bombay boy, undergraduate who was studying in the college, he made a 3D video about one technology company called Thread. And he posted it online on his Insta account. Immediately the company took notice and they offered him a job. Did he apply to the convention way? Did he go through Naukri? Did he call up the HR person and say that I want a job here? No. What did he do? He used his awareness about social media and he got a job. So that's what your generation has got. You need to harness it. You need to make use of it. It's already happening. And third, one other thing which I see my daughters and my colleagues, young colleagues, they are very good in multitasking. And then at the same time you are texting and you are watching TV and you are also responding to some mail, whatever. I can't do it. If I am doing a mail, I will do a mail. If I am watching a movie, I will watch a movie and then I will do my mail. But with my daughter or my young colleagues, they are all able to do multiple things. And that's something which I again see in your generation. You are able to do multitasking. Use it. Again, that's something that companies can use. So when you do multitasking and you are able to showcase your ability to do multitasking. Imagine a company in which whom you are if you are coming to me for an interview and if I see you as a person who can easily handle multitasking and you can do more things at the same time and achieve it and make it happen, will they take a person like me or will they take a person like you? A person like me will do 5 things in 5 hours. You will do 5 things in 2 hours. So who is got better chance for a job? You. Use that. You already know that today also you are doing multiple things at the same time. That's something which is part of the generation. Use it. Again, I hear all this kind of abbreviations, LOL, ROFL, OMG, and it's something which all of you use it. Abbreviations are part of your life. I mean, every text, sometimes I get text messages and I have to ask my daughter, what does this mean? She will laugh and then she will tell me, but then that's the TTYT. I said, what is that? I don't know. And my daughter told me, it's talk to you tomorrow. I said, okay, got it. My daughter, my younger one, she would say JK. I would say, what is JK? And we have friends say, no, just kidding. I said, right? Okay. So this is you people are born with this kind of simplifying things and understanding the larger message. Behind TTYT, I will write still I talk to you tomorrow, but you guys will write TTYT and be done with it. Use that advantage. Tomorrow, now do you know the meaning of AI? Do you know what is IoT? Do you know what is B2B? Do you know what is ML? Do you know what is VUCA? These are again abbreviations. But just like you learned or you understood about LOL and ROFL and OMG, you need to learn about these abbreviations too as you start this chapter. These words are going to be extremely important and these are going to be determining your future. So you are so good in learning about ROFL and LOL, you will have no trouble in understanding ML, machine learning, Internet of Things, VUCA, artificial AI, B2B, B2C, all this stuff. This is something which can again come to very naturally. Use it. Another thing which I think about your generation is you are very comfortable with your own thing. You have your own mobile, you have your own hangout, you have your own social media space, you go out with certain friends, you go to certain places, you have coffee at certain places. This is all you are very comfortable and you are not too bothered about the larger world, which is very good. What you need to do now is expand that world. The small world which you are more comfortable in, can you be comfortable in a corporate world? Can you be comfortable in a business world? Can you have a natural ability to be comfortable in your own world? All you need to do is expand. Expand from a small circle of friends, small circle of family or a one hangout place. Can you be more exploratory and can you get into corporate and try to understand the larger world and be comfortable there, stay comfortable, because that's something which you guys are so good at. And what do you see there? How can you be? So, for example, you and your friends must be hanging out in one coffee shop. Why? Because you are aware that is in your mind, that's the best place for coffee. It's easily accessible for all your friends. Everybody can come in there and we can have coffee and play. Now that is the awareness. Tomorrow, can you be more aware? How many of you have heard of Agrima Infotech? Anybody has heard of Agrima Infotech? Now this is what I call it. This is a company which is based out here in Pallavaram, Kochi or Kakinada. and which got acquired by Tata Group company. One of the latest acquisitions which was in the newspapers, days ago. Now this is what I call awareness. You are aware of everything around this place. You are aware of all the best hangout joints. You are aware of many things. You are aware of what is happening in social media. You are aware of the most music launches. You are aware of all the movies. So we know movies which are going to be coming in the next 3 months, 4 months. You are aware of all everything. But we are not aware of Agrima Infotech, which is one of the best IT company, technology companies which got acquired by Tata Group 2 days back. That I am requesting you, the kind of awareness which you have about everything else, can you expand that to companies and understand? Because for example, if you know about Agrima Infotech and if you know that it has been acquired by Tata Group company and if you know that it is important, coming Monday you will be out there or somehow trying to contact them to get into a job there because that has got acquired, which is going to be it has got funds now, it will have jobs, it will expand. I am looking for a job and Agrima Infotech has been acquired by Tata, so obviously they are going to expand, they are just not going to keep it that way and I am need to apply there and get a job. That is the awareness that I am talking about. How many of or even if you are talking about first year students, can I look at summer placement there? Can I look at an internship there? Agrima Infotech, let me go there. They will be a person. Since I don't know about Agrima Infotech, all the next things will not happen. Since my awareness level is zero about what is happening in the industry, I will never try to find out about Agrima. I will never try to know that there could be a job vacancy there and that is something which I could be getting into. So that is why awareness, which is again key, please be more aware. Now do you know Agrima Infotech was started by 3 engineers. Anup Balakrishnan, Arun Roy, Arun Ravi and Nikhil Dhaman. Have you heard of these names? Obviously not. Are they IIT graduates? No. Are they foreign educated? No. They are all graduates of Mahatma Gandhi University. Here, they have studied in the same university that you are studying. They haven't done their engineering from NIT, IIT, nothing. They are ordinary people, just like you and me. But today they are billionaires. Because Tata Group decided to buy that company. They are ordinary people who decided, who choose to be extraordinary. So that is the secret here. Nobody is born extraordinary. You just have to choose to be extraordinary. These 3 gentlemen, these 3 engineers decided that they have to do something different. And like one was saying that they started in 2000, they passed out in 2011, they directly started a company. And this Agrima Infotech was started by them immediately after college. They started the company when they were your age. 2011 to 2021, 10 years, they are billionaires. So that's the secret. So there are 2 things I thought I should share with you that these are the advantages of the generation. Use it. Because if you don't use it, you are not helping yourself. And last, I would, for the HR people, since I am also an HR person, I would like to talk about just 3 things which I would request you and advise you to follow. One is, since you are getting into a career, one is understanding. One is about domain knowledge. If I say that I am an HR person, I should know HR. If I don't know, if I can't talk about HR, nobody is going to hear me. I should be able to talk HR. 2 years you have studied HR, can you talk with us? If you can talk in an interview, then you have come down. Now again, second is industry knowledge. Again, you need to understand that if you are going to a manufacturing company, if you are going to an education institute, if you are going to an IT company, Do you understand about that company? Do you understand about that industry? Please, you are so expert in internet and Googling and doing everything. Do a little Googling, understand that industry. Because when you come to me for an interview and if you don't know anything about my company, I am sure you will not be satisfied. And third is teamwork. Your generation is good in working alone. You are experts and you are so confident. You can do things on your own. But in a company scenario, I need people to work in teams. We need people to work in teams. That's something which you need to show when you interview, that you are good at working teams. So how many team projects are you talking about? How many instances where you worked in teams and succeeded in teams is something which I need to know. So these are a few things I thought I should share with you. And once again, congrats to the batch and best of luck for the current batch of MHRM undergrads, and all the best to the institute. So everybody, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It's time for honoring the guests. I welcome Dr. Paul Matthew, Principal, H. College, to present a memento to our honorable guest, Professor Voki Patanan. Thank you, sir. Next, I invite Advocate Arun Paul Kundan, Chairman of this institute, to present a memento to our honorable guest, Dr. Joseph Childela. Thank you, sir. Finally, I welcome Ms. Amy Arun to present a memento to our honorable guest, Mr. Blessing George. Please be seated. Thank you all. May I now request the Advocate Arun Paul Kundan, Chairman, A. College, for his closing remarks.
Distinguished guests, Mr. Voki Patanan, Dr. Joseph Childela, Mr. Blessing George, Dr. Paul Matthew, Ms. Amy Arun, your faculty members and my colleagues, and my dear students. It is indeed a great moment for Avestina Medical College to have this function organized in a different manner. I'm so glad to see the students involved holding certification mementos and medals, and now they have joined the HR fraternity like me. Welcome on board. I'm telling you, HR is a wonderful profession. I'm sure I remember the first day of our interaction where they have discussed at length why you have chosen HR as a career. Where I have shared my thoughts and my experience and my learning in HR function, as well as how we conduct ourselves in industry and how we can build a career in HR. I'm sure all of you are working by now, and I have understood all are already 4 or 5 months into their career. I'm sure you must be finding whatever you have learned or understood from this institution is helping you. We have heard the words of wisdom from the distinguished guests, right from Mr. Voki Patanan, where he has explained how the changes in the technology as well as how the career, how the industry, the pace of change in the industry, how it is affecting or the impact of all these we have to equip ourselves to meet with the challenges. Dr. Joseph Kirigara also gave 3 thoughts about how to survive in the industry. Mr. Nitin John, who is my classmate in the Assistant to Business Management, we did our master's, like we did an SR, we did our work and the Master of Social Management. We were there for 2 years together. So my dear friend, he also had given you a very deep thoughts about how your strength as a present generation is transformed to excel in your career. I have nothing much to add because there is already an overload of advices and tips how to be successful in your career. Having worked in the HR function for almost 23 years in India and abroad, I have learned, I have experienced, I have good memories to cherish. At the same time, I have got different experience also. A career in an organization, industry, is not a safe work. It is difficult. And all of you are starters now. You are in the very starting point. As you are going, you can see some actually doing good and people whom you thought you may not do good to be excellent in the career, maybe becoming general manager and vice president. Because we have seen it from our side. Many of our ex-colleagues or my classmates in symbiosis, they are doing extremely well. And then some we thought we would do better have not fared well as per the expectations which we had at that time. This is because they have chosen to manage their career very well. They understood what to do, how to connect, and how to build up relationships in the industry so that they can grow their career and move at the right time. My advice to all of you is what I have been told when I did my summer project at Apollo Industries Development. There I had general manager HR, whom I used to go and interact with. Somehow he was very happy to host me, like I was a young aspirant. And he used to guide me he used to come tea together, and it was a great honor to have a cup of tea with the general manager of Apollo Tyres HR and IR in his cabin those days. So I really enjoyed that privilege, and while he was talking about many things, he asked me about what the office calls in few days and what sort of input we get. So I was positive that I might be getting a privilege job, which is actually one of the best things you can ever hope from a summer project. So at that time he gave me one advice. He said, you should know when to make your career, next career move. So as you go in your career, you should keep yourself abreast with the latest development, the technology or whatever is happening in the industry, or you should try to connect with who is in the industry. And the moment you really see that your career is stagnating, is not going forward, you are doing the same thing again and again, there is no learning from whatever you are doing, then remember that's the time to move. Yes, as you all do know, nobody is indispensable, everybody is indispensable. If I am not here to know, it's called a you know that the previous history of India, when Indira Gandhi unfortunately she was shot and she passed away, the world thought that India will collapse and it did. So nobody is indispensable, everybody is indispensable. So if you figure out to manage your own career, take the right steps at the right time and grow in your career. If HR is what actually fascinates you, go further depth into that, do learning, you understand what the new concepts which have been developed in HR and be interested in developing and the latest projects or latest learning and teaching is happening. And now for you guys it's much easier because you have got internet and of you have Google search, you will get content on articles, you will get RMS interviews, you keep taking journals, you use LinkedIn, so on and so forth. So I'm not going further into that because you already have enough and you already have heard me for more than 2 years. Which is, I think, if I keep coming again, probably you should start a lot of the I'm doing more than that. I'm going forward. I wish you all the best and I congratulate the staff and the fraternity of the department managers and then the faculty members for organizing this function. And this is one of the best well-organized functions in the history of the college. And probably, as we have seen, the college is changing, right? This is not what you were looking at the time that we left. So we are also in a fast-paced change track now. There are a lot of things which are happening. So I am very glad that you all are starting to come, take a day off and come and join and respect all the invitation. Thank you for taking time and coming to this day. And spread the news. You are holding the flag of Saramari. Those who are Saramari College of Commerce and Industry, now we have changed to our flag to Rajesh Saramari and now we are on village. So you are also part of this village family. So keep the flag high, keep it flying and encourage your organization come to placement. So you are a commitment to this organization, you are a commitment to the juniors. So please give up to that and then we will go together. Okay. Thank you once again. Thank you everyone. So we will have I look forward for the next conversation ceremony like this the next year. I just concluded this slide off. While we did our MPM in 1994, everyone was actually waiting for a ceremony like this. So we never got one and we went to Pune University and then we anticipated that we will have something like that. We were at the Pune University. So we told you that there can be collected certificate. When is that going to happen? When is the certificate? So that so all these actually these certificates were distributed and then how people were inducted into the fraternity. But now this is the conclusion of one chapter of the life. This is the recognition which you all deserve, and I am glad that this is happening. Thank you once again, and God bless you all.
Thank you, sir. Last but not the least, I welcome Cyrus for both of them.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my immense privilege to propose a vote of thanks to make this convocation ceremony a grand success. On behalf of this institution, I would like to express my gratitude, heartfelt gratitude to our principal, Dr. Paul Matthews, for the support and motivation in making this convocation ceremony a grand success. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for Mr. Garthi Patilakar for his presence in this conversation. Thank you. I would like to express our sincere thanks to Dr. Joseph Kurgara and Mr. Blessing George for their valuable time in the session. Thank you. Next, I would like to express my gratitude to Advocate Ravi for Sunil, Chairman and Director Ms. Amy Arun for their support in making this event a grand success. Thank you, sir, and thank you. Thirdly, I thank each and every student who have gathered here irrespective of their business schedule and made their event a memorable. Thank you. Last but not the least, I thank everyone, including teaching, non-teaching staff and my colleagues for their enough involvement and their willingness to take the completion of this task beyond their comfort zone. Thank you for your support. Once again, I would like to express my sincere gratefulness to 100%. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now it's time for a photo session. I welcome all graduates and the babies on dance for the photo.